Welcome back and welcome new viewers. This is going to be a very interesting, very beautiful video of Tuesday Time Bank. For this week, I have this lovely dress, and sometimes, yes, over here they call it a frock, as you can see on the bottom. And this is from 1920s. If you are a frequent watcher, you have always heard me say that the patterns don't have a date. Well, this one actually does. And this is by Butterick. Lovely pattern. And this, I have said, that reminds me of The Little Rascals, the episode that the teacher is announcing that she's going to get married. She is wearing a dress similar to this, and that's why I always reference this to that episode. So I'm going to put this aside for a second, and we're going to get to the date. There is a lot of information in this video. And what is a Tuesday Time Bank, and why was this channel created? This channel came from my original one, which is Small Favors, and in that channel I sew, and I sew for dolls, and I have a little space for my pets, my cats and my dog. And what Tuesday Time Bank is items of a time capsule, which I have incorporated as my patterns, vintage patterns, which we rarely get to see, and I truly love to buy and collect. So in this episode, we're going to talk about this one pattern and a little bit of a history of patterns. As you can see right here, this one actually does have a date. To the left, we can see over here that it says that it's been patented in Mexico in the year of, and it's so tiny, 1929. But later, we can see right here, actually it's 1921. I have my finger there. And patented in the United States in 1990. And I'm going to get me a little pointer, something that I have, which are my snaps. So right over here, you can see that in 1919, it got patented in the United States. And then we're moving on to France in 1923. Then we're moving on to Italy. I can't read that out. Maybe I'll put it later when I am uploading the video. It's really, really tiny. And then we have Canada, Colombia, and printed in New York, and more information here to the side. So we're looking as early as 1919 in the United States. That's really amazing and great. I would open this up, but it is very old, more than 100 years old, and it is breaking at the seams right over here at the folds. So I'm going to gently put this back until I do figure out how to preserve that. I do want to use some type of a tape or acid-free tape, and or maybe silk. I do believe there is such a thing. I just need to find it. So coming back to this beautiful pattern, another thing that I do on Tuesday Time Banks is that I love to see what the tissue looks like. So this right here, the amazing thing, Butterick, and we have this right here, the new Delta. Actually, what this is, and what they called it, or Butterick that is the new Delta means that it does have instructions with the pattern. So as early as 1919s did the patterns include an instruction, and that's what this is right here. And another thing that I wanted to mention is this right here was actually available by mail. And I went down through the history books and the history information. What was the earliest patterns were available? Well, the patterns were available as early as, let me see, as early as 1770, but they were available in women's magazines, and they were as, I think, suitable for tracing. But the male patterns were not available until the year of 1849, and in England they were available to be mailed, and in the United States they were available in 1853, but in forms of books. Not until the 1860s were they available to be ordered by mail in general. I'm talking about France, and the United States and England. Were they available? So in the 1860s. So this came in 1919. So if we think about it, 40, almost 60 years have gone by when this pattern was being ordered by mail. So that is somebody's life, a 60-year-old from a baby to life. So that is very, very interesting. Very interesting to me, because I thought, wow, this is 1919 and it was available to be ordered by mail. So in the next episode, I'm going to go in full detail about the history of patterns, how they were available. So to spend a little bit more time on this, we're going to look at the differences from the bottom, how one dress has the beautiful little tiny pleats and the beautiful tiny pleats along the neck and arm. And the dress to the right is following the style of beautiful little soft ruffles, which we have over here. The dress to the left, the sleeves are the little ruffly, I would say, companion, and to the right the sleeves are a puffy little sleeve. I think this is so beautiful. They both have lovely little belts, and I find that very interesting that as early as 1990 women's were wearing belts as form as a, maybe like a fashion sense for the dresses. They were not sheath dresses or like A-line, but they were wearing those belts in there. Just a few years, 1919, and also in the roaring 20s, so where the dresses were loose and free. So last look is the all-knowing. I say all-knowing because in order to do these sewing, all you had were these blank patterns in here. And with the instruction, which was extremely helpful, I would imagine, you had these as a puzzle making to find your tissue paper and look to see what it references and what it looks like. So these two would be a little bit hard to tell, except for this one, which is the front, has a little cut on the waist, and the back is more of a solid. And for the skirts, it would have been very difficult, I would imagine, until I open it up. I'm not sure if I would have a full skirt in here. I would imagine it is, but this is all I get to see. So I'm taking it as, how would you know? You have little dots there, and then some dots, 3 circles, not dots, 3 circles right there. So that would be very hard. Over here, you would have to have them side by side to know which one is which. And it's going to be interesting to see how long this actually is. So this is a dress that I would love to make. And to be perfectly honest, I would buy the pleated material or the pleated trim, which comes in the color of creams and whites, because I already looked for it. So I would probably cheat my way and do this right here instead of painstakingly iron it, which I do for my Francie dolls on the Terrific dress. A little bit of crop reference here. So I want to thank you for being here on this week's Tuesday Time Bank and looking at this lovely, finally, 1919 year because of this information down here. It gave a lot of information all the way to Italy and to Canada. Where else? France, Mexico, Colombia over here. So this one actually gave a lot of information of where this pattern went. So I find that very fascinating, and hopefully you do too. I will see you in the next week's. Please don't forget to subscribe. I'm working my way to 50 subscribers where I'm going to be able to do live stream. And in live stream, I would love to be sewing a dress or showing you half-made dresses and finish it up. But for now, I will start doing smaller things like the dolls. I do have some vintage, I would have to say 1850s doll patterns that I could start to do and recreate. So we'll see you next week. Thank you so much for joining. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, a comment, and a share. Shares are helping my channel grow, and that's what I'm working each moment of the day for this channel. Have a great and safe week. We'll see you next week and next pattern reveal. Bye, everybody.